Hello everyone. So this is Module 4. It's application problems and you can either use elimination or any way of solving a system of equations. So by the end of this module, you can use a variety of different methods to determine the solution of a system of equations. And you'll be able to solve using elimination, be able to explain how a system gets created from real life situations and what that solution actually means. So in our first thing, I always advise you guys to figure out what your X and what your Y are going to be. So Ms. Rodriguez leaves money to her two favorite charities in her will. Charity A will give 2.5 times as much money as Charity B. The total amount of money to be donated is $28,000. To determine the amount of money each charity will receive. So the first thing you have to determine is what is your X, what is your Y? Well, what are the unknowns in this? How much money is given to each charity? That is what the unknown is. So if I'm determining what my X and my Y are, my X is going to be Charity A, and my Y is going to be Charity B. This way I know X and Y, they're going to be Charity A and Charity B. So now I have to write some equations. Remember, there are going to be two equations to these. Okay? So, Ms. Rodriguez leaves money to her two favorite charities. That does not help us. Okay? Charity A will get 2.5 times as much as Charity B. Well, Charity A is my X, and that's going to be 2.5 Charity B. So 2.5 times my Charity B, or in this case, Y. The total amount of money will be donated is $28,000. So total amount is when I take Charity A and I add Charity B to it. So X plus Y equals $28,000. So that's my total equation. So what I do is I take this 2.5 to solve the system, and I would substitute it in. Because I already have an X solve for, I would use substitution in this method, and I would substitute it in for that X. So it becomes 2.5 Y plus Y equals 28,000. So that's 3.5 Y equals 28,000. So then I'm going to divide each side by 3.5, and I'm going to get 8,000. So Y gets $8,000. So now I have to figure out my X. So I'm going to take this X and I'm going to go, all right, that's 2.5 times 8,000. So my X is going to be 20,000. So what does the solution mean? Charity A will get 20,000. Charity B will get 8,000. So that's how you would solve that type of system of equations. The next type of situation, it is a little bit more complicated. So you're running a concession stand at a basketball game to raise funds for prom. You are selling hot dogs and sodas. You sell each hot dog for $1.50, each soda for 50 cents. At the end of the night, you brought in a total of $78.50. You sold a total of 87 hot dogs and sodas combined. You must report the number of hot dogs sold and the number of sodas sold to the school. So, what are the unknowns in this situation? How many hot dogs and sodas sold? So let's say X is going to be hot dogs and Y is going to be sodas. Now what I do is what I call a money equation. So I have numbers that deal with just purely money. Okay? I know hot dogs are going to sell for $1.50, sodas for 50 cents, and I brought in $78.50. So I'm going to say 150x plus 0.5y equals 78.50. Now I have a second equation because I have to deal with this 87. And again, it's a total of 87 hot dogs and sodas combined. So how do I combine them? X plus y has to equal 87. Now, to solve this system, you can either do substitution or elimination. In this case, I think elimination would be easier because you have it set up in standard form with both variables on one side of the equal sign. Elimination tends to be a little bit easier. I don't have to solve as much. You can solve with substitution. I'm going to solve with elimination. What I'm going to do is I'm looking at the y's right here. And I have 0.5 and I have a magical 1. So what do I have to multiply that top equation by to get 1 or to get negative 1? I'm going to take this top part and I'm going to multiply by negative 2. I'm going to multiply each one of those by negative 2. This will allow me to get a negative 1 in front of that y so I can eliminate it. So when I multiply that, I get negative 3x plus negative 1y equals 157. I didn't change anything to the second equation. This is negative 157. Now what I can do is I can add these two equations together. So negative 3x plus x plus that magical 1x is negative 2x. Negative 1 plus 1y, those cancel out. And then negative 157 plus 87 is going to be negative 70. Now I divide by that negative 2, and I get x equals 35. Positive. Now what I do is I have to take this x equals 35 and plug it in somewhere. The easier equation to plug it into is that second one, because it's just x plus y. So if I plug it in there, it becomes 35 plus y equals 87. I subtract 35 from both sides. 52. So what does that mean? Well, 35 hot dogs were sold. And 52 sodas. That's how I would write out my answer. Please complete these practice problems and then come back next class with any questions. Thank you.